I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say, I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man on the Titanic? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? Was it better to be a man when you were sitting in Vienna and the Mongol horde arrived, ready to decapitate any male and enslave all the females? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It's always sucked. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man, which is even something feminists admit, because feminists sit and complain about men and say, well, men have this, men have that, but they're talking about 2% of men.
Fascinating.
They don't talk about all men. They say men have the best jobs. 2% of men have the best jobs. Most men carry trash. So you're talking crap. So everyone accepts that the best possible human experience that exists is the top 2% of men. Anything below that sucks as a man. You're better off being a chick. So what I say to men is, look, life's hard. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to suck. It always has. The only way to get out is to become excellent and perform at a level where your echelon is so high that you get to live this brand new experience. You need to become strong and smart and interesting and charismatic. You need to become rich, powerful, well-known, connected. You need to do it. I think that as a man, your happiness comes from feeling respected over feeling loved. And the reason perhaps you're happy now is because you have more respect for yourself because of the decisions you're making. And you have self-respect.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of men, even if they have self-respect, if nobody else respects them, they're struggling. I think male depression can be fixed with respect.
I want to tap into depression. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that it's massively overdiagnosed.
So I never say and ever. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't think it's fair. And you almost, in many ways, see yourself appear less intelligent. Not less intelligent in a stupid, he's dumb, he did it way. In a very like, I couldn't hurt anyone. Women are experts at this. Women do this the best. Watch a female get pulled over by the police. Watch her just start going, oh, really? Playing stupid is a great way to play innocent. And it's very, very effective. What you'll find in body language, sometimes the biggest results is when you can juxtapose them against each other. So while I was in court, they'd ask me questions. Like, oh no, I don't even really know how that works, to be honest. I don't really know. I've added in these little delays. I deliberately slow my speech down. But then when I had to make a point, I'd completely flip it. And I'd be very adamant and direct with my words. Even now, and even in all my Tate speech videos, you'll notice how I use my hands. If I have a point to make, I use my hands to make the point. I direct the point with my hands. You're gonna notice me doing it all the time now. Something I do on accident. But if I wanna make a point, I'll say something like, and the reason for this, the reason your mom has a big is because she eats too much. I'll do things like this. I'll explain the reason, I'll get your attention with my hands, and then I'll directly give you the reason. I'll put it into your brain. I'll put it in with my hands. This is something I do completely by natural. I don't even have to think about it anymore, but it's something I did learn. And it's amazing with women. It's great with women when you're arguing with them, and they sit there and be like, blah, 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 blah. I didn't be quiet. I didn't hear her, but the physical action makes them sit there and go, okay. Just be very aware and very avert with your hands. Like I said, this course is just going to be knowledge flying at you. So when you talk, where are your hands? Where are they? How do you use them? Your hands, you should be extremely expressive with your hands, especially if you're a man. Before I was a kickboxing world champion, I worked in sales. And I had the best sales record in the company, obviously. And a lot of that was down to body language. I would sit there in front of somebody. I sold TV advertising. I'd sit there and say, you need TV advertising. They go, oh, we do pretty good. I said, yeah, you do good now. But in the future, you're going to need TV advertising. It's the future of advertising. You're going to need it. I'll tell people you ain't got a choice. You better buy it today. You need this. I said, okay, well, let me look at your current strategy and then maybe I can improve it. No, fuck that garbage. If you're a salesman, you're watching this now, you better start telling people they need it. You can't live without this. You need this today. I understand my industry. No disrespect. You're a diaper company, water company. You understand water. You know more about water than me. I understand advertising. See what I've done there? You understand water. That's your thing. Advertising is my thing. Don't tell me about your advertising strategy because I don't care. Advertising is my thing. It's mine. I own it. And if I say you need something, you better buy it. So you understand water? Water is your industry. Advertising is my industry. I've been in this industry for a long time. I'm telling you, with your current strategy, you're having success now, but you want success in the future. And you're going to need a different form of advertising. That's exactly how I'd be. People be sitting there going, oh, okay, it's fine. So you have to be very, very careful with your hands and how you use things. I am very good at that. You, me, this. All these things are learned. You have to adapt your own style. But you need to sit there and think consciously when you speak, what are you doing with your hands? If you're going to sit there and talk with your hands in your pockets, you're not going to be nearly as convincing. If I want to sit there and I want to come across as, there's the old mafia boss, you can sit and be like, with your hands in one place and just use your eyes instead. That works. But that's that's the kind of body language you use when you don't really want to talk anymore. If I'm about to have someone shot, and they come in to apologize to me before I have them shot in the head, I won't be moving my hands. I'll be listening to them like this. Because I don't want to listen to them, I don't want to talk. I don't really give a fuck anymore. Like this, same. Hands across, you don't really care. When I met Donald Trump Jr. in Trump Tower, I was super aware of his body language. What Trump did is something I've never seen before, Trump Jr. We sat down and we started talking, he sat like this, with his hands open on the table. I don't know where he learned that from, but I'm sure he was taught. We were having a normal conversation, we had coffees, we sat down at the table, it was a round table, not like this, and he sat down and he sat like this. Which I thought was quite interesting. I've actually never seen anyone else do that before. So it kind of threw me a bit, and I thought maybe the reason he was taught that is because it's so unusual. Because I read people's body language in every other position, that you've seen all. I've never seen this, really ever. So that was interesting. So first thing you do is be very overtly aware of how you use your hands when you speak. If you want to direct something, if you want to be believed, if you want to be convincing, your hands have to be involved in that process. When I was in my police interviews, once again, I would use my hands, overtly. And I would sit there and say, I actually said in some of my police tapes, and when I get them back, when I'm finally cleared of all charges, he must have been gone for 4 years, I get the tapes back, and I'm going to release them on Twitter. It's going to be the best thing ever, because I made these police look like fucking fools. But I would say to them, in the tape, I would say, I said in the tape, I said, do you have a camera in here? And they'd be like, oh yeah, we do. I said, okay, I want this for the camera. I don't want this for the tape. I want this for the camera. I am innocent. I am innocent. Me, I've done nothing wrong. Say innocent with your hands up. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. They're different things. I'm innocent. I want this on camera. For the tape, reference the time. What time is it? Point at someone when you need something. 5:15. 5:15. Look at the day. 5:15, 24th of November. Look, I've done nothing wrong. I said that shit directly to the camera. I've referenced it off the tape. Body language makes a huge, huge difference. And basically, if you want to be believed or trusted, in my experience, which is fucking vast, you need to use your hands effectively. I've given you some tips on how I do it. You have to adapt your own style. Like everything in the world, if you completely replicate someone else's style, it comes across as unnatural and it doesn't work. You need your own style. You can't be exactly the same as me, and I can't be exactly the same as you. Same as boxing or fighting. I can teach you how to do jab cross, but everyone does it a little bit different. Everyone has a slightly different style. So you have to adapt your own style. What you need to do is be overtly aware. If you're aware of things, you'll pick up on things and you'll change things. So the first thing is you need to use your hands more effectively, especially to be trusted and listened to.
Talking is something you need to get good at. If you're good at talking, you have the gift of the gab, as they say, you can sell anything. No matter what you're selling, the better you get at talking, the better you're going to sell it. So if there's one skill you need to practice for your sales, it's how to talk. How to talk convincingly, how to put energy into your presentation, how to not be boring. Learn to speak. But you need to be good at speaking. Being good at speaking will make you be good at selling. They are the same thing. Get used to talking. I've been in presentations over and over again with people who have a fantastic product, fantastic information, great price point, and the presentation is slick, they've got the PowerPoint, etc., but they're just not good at talking. There's no f***ing X factor with their talk. There's no pa-pow. You need to have that pa-pow. You need to get good at talking. Practice it. Practice getting good at talking. That's one of the most important skills you can learn for life. From getting women to selling products. Exactly the same thing. You need to get good at talking. It's important. So, there's lots of different ways you can get good at talking. My way, the way I talk, suits my personality. You have to develop your own type. But I make sure, I try my best to make sure I put loads of energy into how I speak. Most people speak and they don't realize super low energy. And when you have the ebook, you don't sell the ebook, you sell the result of the ebook. Because if you sell the ebook, you're bored already. I'm bored. So I scream and I move my arms around and shit. I'm eccentric. I'm over the top. You don't have to be that way. There's other ways you can also be engaging without being the same as me. I know lots of other guys who are engaging other ways. But you have to develop an angle to be engaging. So next time you talk to someone who's an engaging speaker, find out why they're engaging. Even some people are engaging because they laugh all the time. People like positivity. So have you ever been around someone who's constantly laughing when they talk? But then you're like, well, you listen more. Because what the fuck's so funny? His life seems great. I want to know what he knows. Find a way to differentiate yourself one way or another. There's loads of different tips and tricks. I can't tell you to be like me, because I'm me and you're you. But you need to find a way to be engaging. And the way you do that is next time you're listening to someone and you're particularly engaged, work out what about them is engaging. So I like to be high energy. But high energy always helps. Being low energy never helps anything. Even if you're shit in bed, at least if you're high energy, it'll be better than if you're low energy. Do something. One thing you do need to avoid is Everyone does it, but if you'll notice, you're watching this university, I'm not reading off a teleprompter, I'm doing everything off the top of my head, and I very, very rarely start stuttering or saying, I've trained it out of my brain. And I teach how to do that in the body language course. So if you're watching this and you want to be able to speak like me, free-flowing, machine gun, get the body language course. But you start slowly. You talk slowly, you breathe, you make sure you don't make any and then you get better at it, and then you can be as quick as me. Now I talk very, very fast without mistakes, without gaps. And will lose you a deal. Oh, so explain to me how the flux capacitor works. Okay, so you just lost it. You just lost the deal right there.